Take a deep breath in. As you breathe in a resourceful feeling of relaxation. And as you exhale, that's it, relax those eyelids. And with your eyes closed, you can give more of your attention to the sound of my voice and the meaning connected to those words. As you breathe in deeper than you normally would. And as you exhale, just allow that breath to be slower, longer, completely emptying your lungs and feeling like any tension, stress, or worries are just leaving your body in your outward breath. Continue to breathe in and breathe out and become aware of any tension, perhaps in your face, around your eyes, your forehead, your jaw, your neck, your shoulders, so that as you breathe in and breathe out, you can release that tension, allowing it to leave your body in your outward breath, enabling you to go deeper and deeper relaxed, just by breathing in and slowly breathing out. As your body relaxes, I want your mind to become open to the idea that things that have happened in the past have created neural pathways, beliefs and ways of thinking. And by tapping into the past, we can reactivate emotions and ways of thinking that are useful in the present. Because there are things that have happened that you simply can't forget. You couldn't forget how to tie your shoelaces because those neural pathways are there. You couldn't forget your name, how to walk, how to talk. And you just do these things automatic. And I want you to get a sense that moments from the past become anchors in time. And by revisiting these moments in the past, we can lighten up those neural networks that are linked to beliefs, emotions, and ideas. I want you to imagine that you've got the ability to go back in time. I want you to imagine going back in time to you're in a restaurant and you're seeing a younger version of you waiting to meet someone. Just imagine you're another guest in the restaurant or just someone looking and observing from afar. Notice your facial expression when this person that you're waiting for hasn't arrived yet. How were you sitting? What were you doing? And then imagine that the person that you're waiting for enters the restaurant. And notice that face change. That immediately you saw qualities that you could instantly and instinctively connect with. There would have been micro expressions on your face created in that moment. A pleasant surprise, maybe desire, attraction. And I want you to get a sense that at that point in time, a trigger was created. I want you to imagine rewinding it and this time climbing into that version of you. So you're now sitting in the restaurant in your own body like you did back then. And then imagine she arrives. You look up, and I want you to recall what you were thinking back then. what you noticed in the inner dialogue. So you can feel your facial expressions move to a smile or a feeling, reconnect with that feeling. Maybe she sits down at the table and notice the things that you found attractive back then. There might be some physical elements, but during a conversation, there will be other qualities that you found attractive, and I want you to hone in on those qualities. Maybe it was a part of the personality, the way she spoke, how she held herself. You got a sense of maybe intelligence or standards. Reconnect with all of those qualities that you found desirable and attractive, but also notice the physical attributes too. Really connecting to a feeling of desire and interest. I want you to go forwards in time to a moment in time just before you had sex for the first time. Remember where you were. Remember what you were wearing, what she was wearing. An element of anticipation, desire. And I want you to imagine reconnecting like you did back then. Noticing the details through all of your senses, what you saw, what you heard, but even things like smell, taste, touch. As you focus your attention on all of the senses, you are reactivating all those things. Only this time I want you to notice perhaps qualities that you missed the first time. What was she doing that seemed feminine? What was she doing that was considerate or accommodating for you? What made you feel masculine and manly? Re-tap into those feelings, but more importantly, the observations. I want you to imagine moving forward in time to a time when you were living together. And in a moment's notice, you can go from doing whatever you were doing to feeling desire, passion, arousal. And I want you to treat this almost like a Rocky montage, just in your mind's eye. Because over that period of time, there wasn't the same thing every day. I want you to think of this in terms of all the different locations, positions, rooms. Think of all the variety and jump from scene to scene in your mind's eye, really becoming aware of all the variety. I want you to feel a connection. And sometimes it's useful to use the power of your imagination to visualize a connection. Not a physical connection, but an energetic connection. As you can imagine an energetic feeling, perhaps like electricity or a beam of light, connecting you with her and back again. And feeling that energy flow, and realize the more masculine you feel, the more feminine she feels. And the more feminine she feels, the more desire you feel. And I want you to imagine it as a loop flowing, and perhaps you can imagine it clockwise or anti-clockwise, but just imagine it in the opposite way that it's been feeling recently. That when you notice one thing, it creates an emotion, and that emotion creates a behavior, and that behavior creates desire, and that desire creates yet another behavior. And I want you to imagine that in this montage, it's just feeding off each other. And that you're in control, or you can influence, or you can lead and instigate this process. And then I want you to imagine visiting a future that hasn't happened yet. Maybe this is in a few days' time, weeks' time, months, or even years. I want you to see you in the future having the kind of sexual relationship, intimacy, connection, passion that you would want. And I want you to see in that future version of you that you're taking the lead in this process. And that there are so many ways in which you can do that. The things you say. See that future version of you saying things that influence the energy and emotional states. The things you do. You might be aware of all the different love languages, but in this future, I want you to see how you're connecting them in a way that makes a difference. You're giving words of compliments and reassurance, spending quality time, having amazing experiences, using physical touch in a way that brings out the feminine energy, doing things that make her feel that you can be a man that can be relied on, or perhaps giving her gifts, taking her shopping, doing things that make her feel valued and appreciated, but that you instigate and take the lead on. You're not doing it because she expects it or has requested it. You're doing it because by you leading, you bring out all of the qualities that you find most desirable. A flower doesn't bloom until the conditions around it enable it to. And what if you're the sunshine? You're the season, you're the temperature to cultivate those qualities that you desire the most. See that future version of you doing things, but also having the best sex life that you've ever had, feeling more connected, more desire, more interest. And in the control room of your mind, I want you to change that dial, increasing libido and increasing sexual interest. I want you to get a sense that you are reactivating hunter in you, the leader in you. Imagine this is a mini crisis that requires you to step up to be the most masculine version of you possible. And that in itself is an opportunity for you to elevate this relationship, to make it the best it's ever been. I want you to get a sense that you're seeing that future version of you. And notice from your facial expression, you're not missing out on anything. You're not seeing yourself reluctantly doing it. You're seeing yourself really enjoying this future, in this relationship, in this connection. Making the best of what you've created. I want you to take that thought, any ideas, inspiration, approaches that you could utilize, and take them back to the present, listening to my voice as you take a deep breath in through your nose and out through your nose. Just wiggle your fingers, wiggle your toes, get a sense that you're back in your body right now. And very soon I'll count from 1 to 10 to awaken you, but you will awaken with a desire to take the lead. Take the lead on what you focus on. Take the lead on what you notice. That you can influence the emotional state by the words you say and the actions you do. And that itself puts you in the driver's seat. And that itself will cultivate the energetic dynamic that you desire. Starting to count to awaken you. 1, 2, 3, waking up. 4, 5, 6, more alert. 7, 8, fully open your eyes. 9, 10, wide awake, wide awake, wide awake.